What's up, YouTubers? Hyper89 and the voices in my head coming at you from the Duelist Den. And for those of you who don't know, Nationals started yesterday. Now, as we all know, Konami is famous for putting up a new ban list shortly following Nationals. That being said, we also do have confirmation that a new ban list will be going up in August. So, I decided that with Nationals going on and with the ban list right around the corner, that I would go ahead and do my ban list prediction video. So hit that intro. The first card I think that needs to get hit is Zodiac Rapier. Now, Rapier does not need to get banned. I feel bumping it down to limited would completely kill this card, as its effect allows you to special summon another Rapier whenever it's attached to a Zodiac Xyz monster. So banning this card is not really necessary to kill it off. Bring it down to 1 would effectively kill this card. The next card I feel needs to get hit is Zodiac Whiptail. Now, Whiptail I think should be just banned straight out. Now, here's why. Whiptail not only allows you to attach itself from your hand or field to a Zodiac Xyz monster you control, but it allows you to do that during either player's turn. Now, whenever this happens, usually you'll have it on the field and you'll attack with it and then instantly attach it to your Zodiac Xyz monster, giving it a 1200 attack boost, similar to a Kalu or Honest effect. But when that Xyz monster battles a monster, then that monster is banished after damage calculation. So it cuts your opponent off from using that monster further on in the duel. My next hit would be Juliet Mirage. And yes, most of my hits are for the Zodiac deck, merely because if the European Nationals are anything to go by, then the American Nationals, which are going on right now, are more than likely going to be dominated by Zeus. But anyway, Mirage is also an extremely dangerous card. I feel this card should get bumped down to maybe semi-limited or limited status. I don't think it needs to be banned straight out, but it does need to get hit down to at least limited status. But anyway, what Mirage does is you can target a card you control, destroy it, and special summon a Zodiac. And then if this card is destroyed by a card effect, you attach it to a Zodiac monster you control. The problem with this card is that you can target itself. So you target itself, you're special summoning a Zodiac, and then you're instantly attaching this card to a Zodiac monster you control as a material to use as fodder for its effects. The first Zodiac Xyz that needs to get hit is Tiger Mortar. Now, the reason Tiger Mortar needs to get hit is because you detach a material from it to target a Zodiac monster in your graveyard and attach it to a Zodiac monster on your field as a material. Now, this effect allows you to get fodder for your Zodiac monsters. I don't think this card needs to get banned. Bump it down to semi-limited, maybe. I would like to see it go to limited, but if it does get hit, I honestly don't think it's going to get anything more than a semi-limit. Next is Broad Bull. Broad Bull allows you to detach a material and search your deck for a Beast Warrior type monster that can be normal summoned or set and added to your hand. This is extremely dangerous because all of your Zodiac monsters in your main deck are Beast Warrior types, and they can all be normal summoned or set. So this allows you to search out any card to go into a 1-card Xyz play. Now, personally, I think this card needs to get banned. I would not be surprised if Konami only bumped it to a limited status, but my own personal opinion, I think it's going to get banned. But, you know, if it's not banned, don't be surprised if it only gets hit to limited status. The last Zodiac card that I feel is going to get hit is, of course, Trident, and I think that they are just going to completely ban this card straight out. Trident's ability to destroy a face-up card on the field during either player's turn makes it extremely dangerous, because if Zodiacs go first, they're obviously going to end with a Trident on the field, allowing their Trident to destroy any card that their opponent puts out on the field that could get over their zoos or around their zoos, or that could possibly stop them. If Konami hits anything else other than zoos, it is of course going to be True King, True Dracos. Now, if they do hit True King, True Dracos, I think Masterpiece is the card they need to hit. Merely because, first of all, Masterpiece is extremely easy to summon out. It has very high attack and defense stats, and once per turn, it can negate a spell or trap card activation, and if it's destroyed, you get to special summon some monsters. So, Masterpiece is an extremely powerful card. I don't think it is going to get banned. If they do hit it, they will probably only put it at limited status or semi-limited. I personally think that it might only get a semi-limit, but I wouldn't be surprised to see if it did get limited if they hit this card. The next card that I feel should get hit for True King, True Dracos is True King of All Calamities. Now, I think this card should get bumped down to limited status. This card is a very super powerful card. It allows you to pretty much shut down all of your opponent's monsters' effects, and it's not just the effects on the field, it's the effects of the monsters in your hand, on your field, in your graveyard, and in your deck as well. They cannot be activated the turn you use True King of All Calamities effect. So I personally think that this card should get bumped down to limited status. For dinosaurs, I think Ultimate Conductor Tyranno should get hit. Now, I'm not saying this card needs to get banned. Okay, Konami just released this a few weeks ago in their dinosaur structure deck, so they're not going to ban it, but it does need to get bumped down to limited status. The reason for that is because getting it on the field is just way too easy by banishing 2 dinos from your graveyard. It can change all your monsters to defense position, cutting off their effects. It can attack all monsters your opponent controls once each, and if it hits a defense position monster, then it's destroying that monster with its effect and dealing burn damage. So this card was just way too broken to even be released in the first place. I mean, if they released it in a booster pack, yeah, but it was too powerful to be brought out in the starter deck. But this card, like I said, I mean, it's just way too powerful. It needs to get a hit. This should be no surprise. I think Totally Awesome is going to get hit. It's not dangerous enough to get banned, but it is too dangerous to be put at semi-limit, so I feel that it's going to get bumped to limited status. But Totally Awesome is what makes Paleozoics what they are. You know, it made the Paleozoic Frog deck. And it's just extremely dangerous. It allows you to detach a material and special summon a monster. And during either player's turn, you can sack an Aqua type monster to negate a card effect. So it's just really too dangerous to be left alive. It does need to get hit down to limited status. The final card that I think is going to get hit is Maxi. I don't want to see it hit, but it's something we've all seen coming for a while. It got bumped to semi-limited, down limited, and now I think it's just going to straight up get banned. I don't really need to explain why this card is so powerful, but it essentially just lets you go off. Either your opponent takes a Maxi challenge and wins, or they take it and lose, or it stops them from doing their mass special summons. But this is a card we all seen getting to this point, and it's going to be real sad when it leaves, but we all know it's going to get hit. Before I get into the cards that I think are going to come off the ban list, these are not guarantees. None of these cards are just personal. I want them off, so I'm predicting they're going to come off. I have good reasoning behind all of them, but I actually feel that these cards do need to come off the ban list, and I'll explain why each one needs to come off as I get into it. So let's go ahead and get started with those. First, we're going to start with the ban cards, and the first one is Fishboard Blaster. Granted, you can discard a card to special summon this card from your graveyard, but synchro-based decks are just going to be extremely slow with the Link format coming up. So having this card brought to limited status, which is where I think it should be at, could actually help synchro-based decks. The only downside is that all other materials have to be water, so it really limits you as to what kind of deck you can run for a synchro deck. But this card, I just don't think that this should be on the ban list at this point with the links coming out. Merely because, synchro, I mean, like I said, synchros are just going to be extremely slow. The next ban card is Cold Wave. Cold Wave, I think, could possibly go all the way up to semi-limit, and I don't really even understand why this is banned to begin with, because you can only activate at the start of main phase 1. So it's before you do anything else in main phase 1, you have to use this card. If you do anything in main phase 1 before you activate this card, then you can't activate it, okay? It stops both players from using spell and trap cards during that turn. So, I mean, this really hurts you as much as it hurts your opponent. So I don't see why this is banned. I personally think that this could go straight up to semi-limited and be fine. I don't think anybody's really going to run it if it does. Next is Painful Choice. This card is currently banned. What it does is you select 5 cards from your deck, reveal them to your opponent. Your opponent selects 1 card to add to your hand, and the rest go to the graveyard. Now this card, I don't see what's so dangerous about this card, merely because your opponent is selecting what card is going into your hand, so they know what it is and they know how to get around it. Next, the rest of the cards are going to the graveyard. So unless it's something that, has an effect that's useful in the graveyard, maybe like a Burning Abyss card or something, then you know, it's not really going to be too much of a detriment. The last banned card that might come off the list is Evil Swarm Exciton Knight. Do I think it's going to come off? No, but there is a slight possibility that it might. For more information, check out my discussion video over it, which I will leave linked in the description box below. Moving on to the limited cards, the first limited card that I think could go up to semi-limited or maybe even unlimited altogether is Dandelion. The reason I say this is because the link mechanic is right around the corner, and Konami wants to do everything they can to get people playing their new mechanic so that they're buying the new cards. Now, what better way to do that than to give you a card that can give you tokens to tribute for your Link monsters. So I think this card, I mean, like I said, this could go to semi-limited or maybe even straight up to unlimited status. The next card is Knight Assailant. Now, I don't think this card needs to be on the limited list at all. This can just go straight up to unlimited. Now, the reason I say it is because its effect is, it's a flip effect, first of all, and when it's flipped face up, you target one monster your opponent controls and destroy that target. And when this card is sent from the hand to the graveyard, target a flip effect monster in your graveyard, accept this card and return that target to the hand. Now, first of all, the flip summon mechanic is extremely slow and almost entirely dead at this point. Now, yeah, during Shadal's, yeah, I could see this card, but really, I mean, nobody's running flip monsters anymore, and Shadal's are dead. You know, there's really no need for this card to be on the list. Starting off with limited spells, we have Divine Wind of Mist Valley. Now, Divine Wind of Mist Valley can be utilized in several decks. It can be utilized in Harpies, Yosenjus, Mist Valleys. You know, it does allow for crazy shenanigans, but just having this one card is not really going to bump some of those decks up to, you know, tier 1 status. You know, it's past its top prime. It doesn't need to be limited anymore. I think we could see how it does on semi-limited before bumping it up to unlimited status. I don't think having it unlimited will really make much of a difference, but I feel that a semi-limit would be a good idea for this card. The next limited card is Soul Charge. Now, Soul Charge is an extremely powerful card. It is too powerful to be completely unlimited, but I don't think it's so powerful it needs to be at limited status, at least not at this point in the game. Here's why. First of all, for every monster you're summoning from the graveyard, you're losing 1,000 life points. Now, if you're going up against, you know, dinosaurs with the ultimate Conductor Tyranno, those life points are not something you want to be getting rid of. Second of all, if you do manage to get a boss monster on the field and your opponent's running like True Kings, for example, you know, that monster's effects can be negated by True King of Calamities. So it's really, those monsters are going to be susceptible to other cards that are on the field, especially, you know, with, you know, True Kings and Dino's kind of a big thing right now. So it's not really a card that you want to run against those decks, and having it at 2, I think, would be a balanced choice, merely because, you know, like I said, you don't want to be running it against decks like True King, True Dracos, or Dinosaurs. The last limited card that I think could come off the list, and this one I think could go to possibly even completely unlimited, is Symbol of Heritage. Now, what Symbol of Heritage does is you can activate only when there are 3 monster cards with the same name in your graveyard. Select one of those monsters, special summon it, and equip it with this card. When this card is destroyed, destroy the equipped monster. Now, this is very similar to Call of the Haunted. Now, granted, Call of the Haunted is a trap card, so you have to set it before you can activate it. But you also have to think, Call of the Haunted can summon any monster, has no other restrictions besides that. Symbol of Heritage, you have to have 3 monsters with the same name in your graveyard. Alright, so maybe for decks like Harpies it would be good, or Light Swarms possibly, but you have to think, you know, having 3 monsters with the same name in your graveyard, with as fast as the game is right now, is rarely ever going to happen. I mean, okay, Dinosaurs might be able to use this card as well, but you also got to think, there's cards like Twin Twisters, MST, Galaxy Cyclone, Twister, you know, there are ways to get around this card. The first semi-limited card that I think could go to complete unlimited status is Debris Dragon. Now, when Debris Dragon is normal summon, you can special summon a monster with 500 or less attack from your graveyard. And yeah, there are level 4 monsters that meet that requirement, so you could use this for essentially a 1-card Xyz play. But if people are going to be doing that, then they will be doing it with it at semi-limited status. So it's not really a play that people are really going to be going into, even if this card is unlimited. Furthermore, if you do use this for synchro-based decks, it has just a really hard restriction to get around. First of all, it can only be used to synchro summon dragon-type monsters, and the other materials cannot be level 4. So that really puts it at detriment to be used in synchro-based decks as well. The next card I think that could come off the semi-limited list is Thunder King Ryo. Now, Thunder King Ryo used to be a pretty good card. I mean, it still has a decent effect, but if people were going to be running it, they would still be running it at 2, and they're just not doing that as much these days, mainly because you do have to give up your normal summon to get this card out on the field, and not a lot of people want to do that. So I think that this card is really past its prime, and bringing it up to unlimited status would not change anything. People still would not be running it. So yeah, I think this card could possibly come off of the semi-limited list. The last card that I think could come off the list is Ojamas Trio. And the reason I say this is because there have been some leaked images. I'm not sure if they're fake or if they're real, but there are some leaked images showing some new support for Ojamas. And Ojamas Trio is a very good card to run in Ojamas. It isn't out to link monsters. Being able to special summon tokens to your opponent's field, cutting off the zones that are linked with their link monsters is a very good thing. So Ojamas Trio might possibly come off the ban list just so Konami can promote their new Ojama support a little bit. But on that same note, Konami could also decide to nerf this card and put it at limited or banned status just because it can get around the link monsters. So this one is really, 50-50 as to which way it might go. I think it could come off the list merely because Konami might want to promote some of their new Ojama cards. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel. Let me know what some of your cards you think might come off the ban list are in the comment section below. As always, make sure you check out the Duelist Den Facebook page. If you have an idea for a video that you would like to see up on the channel, the Facebook page is the best way to get in contact with me directly. Also, don't forget that on Halloween, I'll be doing a pack giveaway where I give away 5 packs of the most recent set, but I need 150 subscribers to be able to do that pack giveaway. So make sure you get your friends, family, everybody you know who's interested in this channel onto the channel and subscribe to it, or anybody you know who's interested in Yu-Gi-Oh! Get them on here and subscribe to the channel. But until next time, this is HyperHunter89 and the voices in my head, signing off.
Take a shot at you on the side by side. It's a blur.